Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Headline edition will bring you special reports and interviews in a moment.
How you doing? This is the guy from Pittsburgh. Well, the proof is in the pudding. And the pudding in this second video is George Noory's congenital lies about his listenership base. And I got the proof. I want to show you something. It's going to take me a minute to get to the second site. I better keep this plugged in. Doesn't get that bright. Now, it won't show up on my iPad, and I'm hoping it will show up on my MacBook. But I got this thing here. You look for weird radio host Art Bell returns, and I want to thank Art Bell Fan 1 for finding me these. By Edward Mazza, February 6, 2006. No, this is February 6. I'm not sure what year it is. The other article is there. But here's the article. Now, I don't know if you can see it. It's too bright. Let me see if I can turn the light off. Maybe that will help. That's a problem with these damn screens. Let's see. Now, I can't show it to you. But it's out there. The truth is out there about George Noory. And George Noory thinks everybody's like the Tokemons on my shirt. Everybody's smoking something and believing his lies. Well, I'm going to quote a quote from this. Underneath King of the Weird, King of the Airwaves. And the only other King of the Airwaves was Larry King, and before him, Lon John Nebel. Quote, with an estimated 10 million listeners, Bell's show at the time of his retirement was the most listened to late-night radio program and fourth overall behind Rush Limbaugh, Howard Stern, and Dr. Laura. Many stations dropped coast as ratings fell under replacement host Mike Siegel. And he's heard again when he came back in more than 400 markets. So that's one. Then you type in the other story, and there's one on ABC. Oh, it's the same story. But I didn't realize that. But it's out there. It's out there, proof positive. Art Bell had 10 million, and at one point in the article, let me scroll down here. It says here, I know I saw it. Hold on. That must be another one. Just a minute. Well, I know I saw one that said he had 10 to 15 million listeners. If Art Bell 1 can find it, and I can find it, then you can find it. This gives proof that George Noory, like he does in so many things, is a liar. He lies in inboxes, he lies on the air. His listener base is plummeting like a rock. It's plummeting like Skylab did. George lies. And prophets died. So, if you think George Noory's telling you the truth, the truth is out there. It's just not so. And I'm looking here. Here we go. Entertainmenttime.com. Here's the other one. I don't know if you can see this one. Maybe a little better. There's a Time magazine article. Art Bell, radio's most popular weirdo, returns. Now, I don't know why they always have to call people in the paranormal show weird. Paranormal field, I'm sorry, weird. This is from Jack Dickey. He visited Art Bell at his house. There's our king in the picture. There's Art Bell himself, standing outside his giant satellite dish. And they met. This is from September 16th, 2013, which is almost a year ago. It talked about Art going back on dark matter. And let's see if I can find it. He asked Art, what did he think about George Noory? And Art said George was a lazy broadcaster, indifferent to what he puts on the air. This fellow, half the time he doesn't sound like listening to his guest. He'll come back and ask a question and been answered to 5 minutes previously, or he'll inject a complete non sequitur. And let me see here. Art also talks about CNN, and he doesn't watch CNN anymore. And I remember a time when Art, that's all he talked about, was watching CNN. But he doesn't like CNN anymore. So find that article, Art Bell, radio's most popular weirdo. And the Google link on this, if you click on this, and I've got it in my inbox, it says, just a moment, I'm trying to get it up here. No comment, no rude comments, please. And it says here, this is http entertainment.time.com 2013 or /2013/9/16 Art Bell, radio's most popular weirdo, returns. And it says Art Bell spoke to 10 to 15 million listeners per week, fourth among all talk show hosts of the era. So when George Noory says Art never had 10 million listeners, he actually had 15, or as many as 15. George Noory's lying. George Noory thinks he's the greatest thing since karaoke. And I've heard him sing, and he ain't no great thing in the karaoke department. So he needs to go to a bowling alley outside St. Louis, hopefully not the one where they had the riots, and sing his heart out. And maybe he could sing I'll Be Calling You, or Who You Gonna Call, Ghostbusters, anything related to calling, as long as he's not having people call him on the air. He needs to go, Premier needs to fire him, or he needs to retire, take his money and run. It's time for George Noory, congenital liar, convicted in the court of proof and public opinion, to quit coast to coast and turn the reins over to a competent host. And that's all I got to say. Have a good morning, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.